Hey, Walking Dead heads, this is Dylan.
And I'm Quin.
And thanks for joining The Broken Dead today. We are talking Season 11, Episode 8, the Part 1 finale. And we've got some news, teasers, and speculation about what's to come for you, so stick around. This is The Walking Dead. Alright, so like I said, my name is Dylan.
I'm still Quin.
Still. The other day I was Quin. So.
Freaky Friday happened. But on Thursday?
On a Thursday, yeah. It's like Spaghetti Tuesday on a Wednesday.
Wait, what?
Don't you remember Herschel saying that? That's like a long time ago. Oh man, that's the thing.
A long time ago.
Yeah. I love Herschel.
I missed the metaphors.
We still have a Herschel on the show though, so.
Oh yeah, Maggie. Named Little Glenn her. Man, that... Oh, we'll get to that later. All right, yeah.
Yeah. Hurts my heart. All right, so like I said, thanks for joining us today, whether you're returning or new to the show. Thanks. We're glad to have you along for the ride, whether you're watching live or later, if you're on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you're at. We hope that, well, I was going to say that you'll join us every Sunday, but this is going to be the last one until February when the show comes back. Unless we just decide to do a
winter
catch up
arrives
or something. Yeah.
Yes.
If we just, probably not going to happen, but if we get excited about Fear or World Beyond or whatever.
If we get excited about Fear.
I say we, I mean me. I'll be like, hey Quinn, did you see that episode? You want to do one? I'll be like, yeah. Or not. But either way, please help us tremendously by liking whatever platform you're watching on. If you want to do me a big favor and just go to all the platforms and like all the episodes, that'd be great. Subscribe if you like the show and you want more, or if you want to check out our Marvel stuff that we do on Thursday nights. Also hit the little bell icon so that you know when we drop new videos and when we go live. And don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.pictures.com.
Well, that didn't work either.
You're like chasing it. So I don't know where it went. All right. Also, just still in the middle of a pandemic. So stay safe and healthy and do what you need to do for you and your family, you and yours.
Yes.
So it just seems appropriate to say when we're talking about a show about a zombie plague.
Yes.
So.
All right. This is my first thing. Here we go.
Ooh, man. That was a good one.
I felt it in my foot.
I'm jealous. I felt that in your foot.
Yes. If you haven't left now, well, now is your last chance because this is your spoiler alert. We are talking about the Part 1 season finale of The Walking Dead. Yeah, I said that right. If you haven't watched that, pause this, go watch that, and then come back. You have been warned.
Yes. Sorry to be a distraction in the background. I forgot to turn the light on. But now we pop out from the background. It's probably a little too hot, but I want people to be able to see Quinn. I had to turn my lights up because last Wednesday I realized, like, wait a minute, I've got it too dark in here because I'm super pasty. All right. So probably just got myself canceled just then. All right. So, like Quinn said, this is Part 1 finale of the final season of The Walking Dead. Part 1 of 3. And they will return, I want to say February 22nd.
So long away.
Something like that. Yeah, sometime in February.
After Valentine's
Part 2
Day.
will be back.
Be back.
What would you say?
After Valentine's Day.
After Valentine's Day. Because, that's when you want to come back for zombies and scares and all that kind of stuff. It's good excuse to get your date to cuddle up on you.
What is this, 1975?
I don't know. That's sound advice.
That's sound advice. Does it still work?
That's Macology 101. So.
Sorry, this bothering me. It's too hot.
That's
There
what
we go.
she said.
Hey-o! That advice I just gave was too hot. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Anyways, I'm going back to Pop-Tarts commercials. From the 90s. So, like, during Talking Dead, Chris Hardwick, in the middle of Pope, the guy that plays Pope, I forget his name, was talking about how he was doing, he's actually British, so he was like, I'm just doing these drawings and these poetries, and, you know, and filling this notebook about my character, and he was like, you know, my name is Simon. I like to do drawings, and he was like, what the hell is that? He was like, excuse me, I just had a 90s flashback. So, yeah, just showing my age. So, just to cover the Walking Dead universe news, of course, we have Fear is back, and so is World Beyond. As I said earlier, yeah, who cares? Apparently, Scott Gimple, he's squeezing blood from that stone. Man.
Just up there
Or
ringing
maybe
it.
it's AMC. I don't know. I think it might be AMC. Who is changing hands right now? The leadership is changing out. So maybe we'll get a different type of thing. I know for YouTubers it's hard because AMC, anytime you show any kind of, even promo material that is meant to be shown and is under fair use, where, you know, we're discussing the thing and it's more about the discussion than just showing the thing. And plus it's a free content thing that they show anyway. So AMC classically, infamously, goes and shuts those videos down. Why they shoot themselves in the foot, I have no clue. They've even tagged us, and we're just a tiny little YouTuber.
Yeah.
We're not
They come out of
not
nowhere.
big. Yeah. I mean, it's just like an unnecessary flex. It's just like, why? Why? You want the fans talking about the content. Why would you turn on the fans or have the fans pissed off at you? It just does not make sense. All right. Anyways, soapbox. So, yeah, if you've been watching on AMC, then you know we're 2 weeks behind talking about this. We took a week off last week because my man here went and got himself hitched, and he needed some time off, and I decided I was going to do it, but then I was like really tired. So I took the night off as well. And so here we are. And it's funner. It's more fun to do with Quin. Because yeah. Anyway. I get talking in circles, and you help me out with that. I would read all these 4 pages of notes, and I don't have Quin chime in and be like, yes, let's not go till midnight.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Where are we?
So as far as like the spin-offs go, still nothing big on the Rick Grimes movie. Apparently there was some sort of Rick mention or something in the latest World Beyond, or there's going to be tonight or something like that. So they are tying all these in. I hate a ghost.
Yes.
He's a good boy. Got eye boogers.
I know what you're here for, Ghost.
Yep. Quin brought him a treat, so now he's Quin's best friend.
Until the next time he sees it, we're just gonna be like,
Oh, yeah, I don't remember you. Oh yes, I do. Oh no, never mind.
Hey. Yeah.
So yeah. So apparently they're keeping the the main material exclusively to the spin-off shows to keep interest going in there, as if they can't stand on their own.
Because they can't. It's fine. But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Because yeah, but Gimple did tease that in the next in part 2, this season of season 11, in Walking Dead Prime, we would find out if the CRM and Commonwealth are aware of each other. So, of course, the CRM is the world beyond where they're from.
What about that herd that Michonne went with?
Yeah, supposedly, I mean, you would think that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And we'll get into it later. Okay, I'm going to get off the soapbox. All right, so they did announce the, oh shoot, what is it? Did I have it written on here? Written on here, the Tales of the Walking Dead spinoff. They did announce that formally. And so basically what that is they're going throughout the past of The Walking Dead, and they are following up with characters that either were on there briefly or even main characters like what they did before, just kind of following some backstories or some side stories with those characters. It could be fun, but I don't know. It just seems something that would work in a comic book. I don't know if it'll actually work outside of like a webisode type situation.
Yeah. Because
Like a full-on show.
yeah, some folks I feel like they don't need to, because
Yeah.
it's a weird thing of like, and it's the same argument I'll give if anyone says give Luke Skywalker a TV show. We know how his story ends, so regardless of what happens, no matter how interesting or cool, homie's still gonna go at the end of episode 8.
You say that, but Dave Filoni made Clone Wars extremely good.
He made it extremely good.
And we know Vader's story.
And we know how it ends, but the kicker
You
with
make
Clone
it.
Wars is it introduced several characters who we didn't know what happened to them.
Yeah. That we actually cared about. They were interesting characters. Unlike where we're at right now with The Walking Dead, where we've got a bunch of characters that we don't spend enough time with to care about. Like, where is Oceanside? Where is Oceanside? God damn it!
Hold on.
Like,
what was his name?
You done made
his
me
name
curse.
already. He had a mace, and he was in love with the woman from Oceanside. Did he die and I just missed it?
No, the ones that Luke that came with
Yeah.
Magna. No, he went with Oceanside. He was like the sole male character that got to live at Oceanside. And where's Heath? Of course, there are hints that we might see Heath in the Commonwealth. His name, somebody spied his name up on the board, but it could be the same Heath. We don't know. Still don't know what the PPP thing is that was left with his disappearance.
Yeah.
And okay, so also, freaking, what about I just forgot his name. The guy with the accent that comes from nowhere.
The accent that comes from
Yeah,
nowhere.
he used to be a savior and followed Maggie and was at Hilltop and was turned into their blacksmith.
Oh, Earl? Not Earl.
He has Adam, the baby.
He has.
Yeah, they left him in the church. No, the young guy. Yeah.
Wasn't that Alden?
Alden,
Oh,
that's it.
okay.
Yeah, where's Alden? I mean, no
Yeah.
update whatsoever, no nothing. So, I mean, I don't know. That's just a long time to be waiting on Alden, but they have done this with us before where we had to wait an entire season to come back to find out what happened to characters. So,
Yeah.
you'd think they'd learn their lesson. And it's not that much of a cliffhanger, I mean, a wait, but
It's enough of a wait.
it's too much.
Yeah.
If you want us to stay invested in a character that we're barely invested in anyway, like you don't have enough change in your pocket to be purchasing that currency there.
Yep. It's like, here's a new character. Here's one episode. They're injured. We're going to leave them here. You're going to love them later. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
And then go do 9
Yeah.
episodes with Negan.
Yeah. And then we're going to
Maggie.
bring back one of our favorite characters, but we're going to make her completely unlikable. Completely unlikable.
We're turning this into this weird, twisted love story.
Yeah. Oh my God. Please.
And
don't.
and every time I watch it and something happens, I'm like, huh, this is They're getting really close. They're getting fond. Okay, all right. He said something that ticked her off. All right, cool. We're back in the game.
Like if this turns into Grey's Anatomy, it's already soap opera-y for my taste. But and it has been. When did this become? I mean, you probably answer that directly, but when did this become like a prime time soap opera? It didn't have to be. Anyway, all right. Let's get to the show. All right, here we go. All right. Okay, so fear actually was interesting, and it seems to be interesting again. It seems like they're throwing.
7.
Yeah, they're on season 7 of Fear.
What?
Yeah. And it actually seems to be interesting the past few seasons. It seems like right when I got out, the next season was like, eh. And then right after that, it started to get good. And I was like, screw it, I'm done. I'm not getting back in.
Getting back in, y'all took too long.
Yeah, they killed all the likable characters and they left frickin' what's her name that they apparently were trying to... It seemed like I couldn't decide if they were trying to set her up as a villain or the new Rick. She apparently behind the scenes she wanted to be the new Rick and she was like campaigning hard and it seemed like it, but she was so unlikable that
it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, but then like I don't know if it was like retconning or whatever, but apparently recently I saw somewhere that they were actually trying to set her up as a villain or something. I don't know what happened, but Kim, whatever, I can't remember her last name, but she's a great actress, but her character was, I did not like her character. It's like they killed off all the people that you cared about and left her, and it's like, why?
Yep.
Anyways, we were talking about Walking Dead Prime. I think we're done with the Walking Dead universe talk, unless you got something else.
Nope.
Okay, he's like, no, let's move.
All right. The second thing I get to do.
While I talk. In between.
Season 11, Episode 8, For Blood. The Reapers defend... I forgot the name already. Meridian?
Yeah, the Meridian.
Oh yeah, well, the Meridian from an incoming herd. Pope suspects Maggie is behind the attack, somehow because he has the Force apparently, while Daryl treads carefully. Alexandrians scramble to protect themselves, and a violent storm leaves them vulnerable to walkers.
Nice little turn at the end. Yeah, Pope's got this tremendous paranoia, but apparently it's served him well.
Somehow.
I was like, is it even paranoia at that point if it's just leading you the right way? It's just like
it's hard to tell a crazy man no when he's right too many times.
I'm saying. And that's how you get cult leaders.
That's how you get cult leaders.
Which is exactly where he was headed before, Leah actually did the right thing.
Before she said, you know what? I think I can marry Daryl, but also, you know what? No, I can't.
Yeah, it's like this weird Romeo and Juliet thing where it's like, we come from two different worlds, Daryl. You care about your family and I care about mine.
But I want to help you. Just come back with me.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, we begin at Meridian and the walkers are walking funny.
They're walking funny, and I was watching. I was like, "Oh, they're gonna do the thing. They're gonna do the thing they did to Jesus. This is gonna be so cool." And whispers turned into screams real quick. Homie was up there like, "Yeah, come on," and then he was like, "All right, let me go ahead and kill this one." Oh snap! They getting up on me. And then what did they do? They dodged, and that's the moment where you get fear shot through your entire core, and then you die.
Yeah, Rip Wells.
Rip.
Yeah. Of course, Daryl was like, I seen him do this before down south. Nah, it's nothing. It's nothing.
It's nothing. They just
I'll go take care of it. Let me go take care of it. No. Let Wells do it. Of course, Leah sees it from a mile away. And she's like, why?
So Negan learned well from his ex-girlfriend.
Fling.
Yeah, his fling. Oh man,
You could say he really got ahead.
get out of here. And they amassed a sizable horde very quickly.
They did.
And they attacked. Like, and Pope was right on the money too. It was. Yeah. So Daryl, doing sneaky Daryl things, went around, started killing folks along the wall.
Yep.
The thing's just one guy, actually.
Yeah, Rip Smoker Reaper.
Rip Smoker
You want a
Reaper.
cigarette? Oh, yeah!
Oh yeah. Thanks. I know
Trying
I
to
shouldn't.
quit, man.
Yeah. No, I shouldn't. But you know what? You've been here a week. Oh, let me go ahead and.
You're trustworthy.
Let me get
Shaw likes you.
Let me get a puff. And I'm like, is that actually a cigarette? Because, I mean, I don't know if they have filters anymore, but I mean
probably not.
I've also seen your house, Daryl.
Where is he getting the tobacco, I wonder?
Hey, yeah. Where's he getting the tobacco?
I mean, assuming it's tobacco. I mean,
tobacco easy to grow? And
I mean,
bacon to...
Okay, there was that dream sequence that Carol had, her and Daryl, and there was it was hanging from the kitchen.
It was hanging
ceiling.
from the kitchen.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's probably not tobacco.
That was-
it's
that
probably
was
the other
weed.
thing that grows very easily.
yeah,
Not ghost.
yeah.
Dog, don't eat
Daryl's
that.
one true love, Mary Jane. Leah never stood a chance.
Leah never stood a chance.
Not even Carol stands a chance.
Wow. But yeah, so he gave him, he was like, oh, let me give you a light, and stab. Right in the back of that man's neck.
Yeah, man. Like that was cold. That was cold, man.
Yeah, so that was some cold mess. And then,
He was ready to get up out of there, I think. He's like, man,
Yeah.
I done had to cut a dude's finger off to try to convince this man. I mean,
this is
I'm
my
about to die.
chance. And so what did what did Daryl do after he got back? And landmines started going off because the walkers started breaching the perimeter.
I was like, oh, shit,
like,
somebody's about to
oh.
die.
So, and then they didn't see the two walkers that were like, oh, shit.
Like, they're moving funny. What's up with those two going off on their own over there?
Oh, they mutated. I guess this is Left 4 Dead now.
Of course, Pope is never, well, I can't tell what's happening, but she's out there.
She's out there. And then they're up there fighting, like, he has his men down there fighting walkers. And so he's, what do they call it?
Rotters is what they call them.
Not the zombies, the thing.
A hwacha.
Oh, watch.
Hwacha.
Okay.
What are you boys doing back there with that hwacha?
And, okay. And so they were about to shoot that thing. And
Well, don't forget the stinky entrance with Gabriel and Maggie.
Oh,
Gotten
yeah.
it. Don't make it weird. They came in through the trash area
because this is apparently now Star Wars as well.
that's what let's say.
yeah.
Yeah, the Star Wars reference there.
So,
And there was another. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Oh.
That hadn't come yet.
let's rate this episode before we continue.
Oh yeah. Just a brief pause.
Brief pause.
Let's go back.
All right, so
Rate the episode.
I'm gonna give this very odd. You've already been got the spoiler alert, extra cliffhangery episode. A 7 out of a 7.
Man.
Daryl stabbed in the necks out of 10. simply because of that. Like the premise that they've given us for this season, that it's broken up into 3 parts, and each part so many episodes, and then it's like a big old gap before the next one, which to me would mean they would give us like a story or a medley of stories, a definite end, and then start fresh. And then once we got to the final part of it, then everything from before, whether it's like the ends and everything, the odds and ends of it all start coming together into this beautiful flower. But no, they said, this is The Walking Dead. What do we love to do? Leave you on cliffhangers for months. So,
with one that you don't really care about.
Yeah.
Well, here lately, anyway. The big one that we did care about. That's why we were so pissed.
So it's mostly because we got left on the hangerousy cliffhanger they could leave us on.
I don't know. You'd almost think that was J.J. Abrams
Almost.
running things. Like episodes of Lost or something. Except those were effective cliffhangers.
Well, I mean, they were like 15 feet from this ending in a church. So.
Yeah. And then, yeah, we'll get into that later. Remind me.
Okay.
So, I'm going to have to go, like, 7 hits home for me, too, because although it was a fun episode, but it was like, everything was just so obvious. Like, okay, I knew Pope was going to die, like, and they were setting Leah up to be another big bad or something like that. And Angela Kane confirmed that that we're seeing the rise of a villain, like another villain. Okay. So I don't know. Everything just seemed to be obviously going to a certain place, even though like I have to catch myself because one of my core storytelling beliefs is that people are going to figure out where the end is going anyways, and somebody's going to figure it out. But just let it be fun. Let the ride be fun to get there. Let the journey be fun, even if the end is obvious. And I felt like it was kind of fun, but there were some silly things like the weird cliffhanger with the Huacha like aimed, and then they're just like, oh, here's the teaser for next one. These characters are completely safe. In the teaser. And so yeah, there was a lot of, once again, a lot of spoiled potential.
And made the episode a little bit longer. Go ahead and fire the Huacha and gave us like kind of a definite end, whether this whole thing ends in like a stalemate and everybody just kind of gets away and retreats.
Or even just like, I know that shooting TV, you're a lot more run and gun than for a movie where you've got more time for setup and to get different shots and stuff like that. It really would have been nice to see more storytelling in the framing of the characters and the editing, because some of this was just kind of like you're almost just sitting back, like you're just kind of watching, and they're not really doing a whole lot of storytelling in like leaving you hanging in this person's emotion or their decision or anything like that.
Or presenting even like new information or anything.
Right.
It was just all the same stuff that we knew. Nothing ended. We know now it's just going to continue on with that. Only thing that ended was Pope, and he didn't even die cool.
Yeah, and the only real surprise in the episode was what was Gabriel getting from the building. To me, it was like, there's the sniper rifle. I thought that was cool. I was like, okay. But when she rolled out of that cab, I was just like, she just rolled right into like in the middle of all the Reapers and just like, oh no, walkers. Let's leave the woman that Pope is obsessed with on the ground rolling. And she just gets up, and then, like 2 or 3 cuts later, after we're like following, we figure, oh, she did run into somebody, and then we get Gabriel.
Yep.
I don't know. It seems kind of like, I don't know. Maybe on the page it seems interesting because like when I'm taking notes, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see like this is like the story. I could see where they're writing out the story where it could be engaging, but the execution of, I guess, directing and putting the shots together just kind of undid it for me.
Here back like a few episodes back, the stuff in the subway, that was cool. The season started off really strong, and then it being the
Minus Maggie.
minus Maggie going
Dumpster rolls under the train or wherever she went.
Maggie's signature move, roll.
She's like, I've seen Glenn do this before.
Maggie used the roll.
It was just barrel roll.
So, but all right, back
Yeah.
back to Daryl and his gamble of, I'm just gonna. He's like, well, all right. When you're up there and you're talking to your ex and you're like, I think I want you back. So here are all the cards on the table. What's this gonna be about?
I know she was about to tell him something too, and then he's like, hold up, me first. It's like, bro, just let her talk.
Yep. She could have been like, Daryl, I'm pregnant.
Hope not.
Hope not. Like, could have been anything. But now Daryl, he dumped his soliloquy, monologue, whatever, out, and she was like, literally nothing. Just
Cool
said
story,
nothing.
bro.
Then Pope came back, mustache full. What's going on? Oh, that's not a good Pope. It almost
What
went.
are y'all talking about? Sorry.
And so, and he's up there watching, and he sees everybody fighting, and he's like, cool, yeah. So let's go ahead and just like blow everybody up or shoot them with arrows. So please get the thing ready, please. And then at that moment, she should.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, what about our people? And he's like, God, you let God sort them out. I'm the Lord. What I say goes. And that's what
dodge.
No, sir.
Yeah. And so she was like, oh, I'm done with this. I don't want you to set a dude on fire. You try to set me on fire. I'm not going to let you set everybody else on fire. Mm-hmm. So she did the only sensible thing.
Yeah, he's got a low obsession with fire.
He does. Wonder why. And he didn't have
Well,
any...
because they were saved from the fire, remember?
Oh.
Burning around their town or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Which would, I mean, it would have been a cool flashback to see.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Who knows, maybe.
Time restraints, budget restraints.
All the things. That's fine.
But, so, yeah. Daryl turned into Tick and pulled his knife.
It's like, all right.
I already had a dog one time. Don't worry, I ain't going to lick you.
And then Pope got his neck cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she very unceremoniously finished the job, just like stepped. Like she was done with that dude.
Yeah.
She was done. Cut ties. And
Vocal boards and all this in here.
spine.
Yeah. She was done. And then she turns to Daryl, and Daryl looks at her, and then he looks past her and throws a knife.
Yeah, so to me, it looked like that dude might have been coming for her, and then he did that. But then, like Angela Kang made a big deal about how seeing him kill whatever his face was, the Huacha guy, their Da Vinci, which I mean, strategically, I could see how she would be pissed because he's a weapons expert, but. Angela Kang made a big deal about seeing Daryl kill him was what kind of sealed the deal for her that he doesn't care about her people.
Yeah.
But she killed Pope right in front of the guy, and it looked like he was about to make a move on Leah, and so Daryl killed him. Doesn't quite add up necessarily. And so many times these people, like there's a misinterpretation of their actions, Eugene, and in the last couple episodes ago, and they don't even try to defend themselves. They're just, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, dude, just say, look, that's not what happened. This is what happened. Like, they don't even try to defend themselves. They just, oh, you got me. And it's like, well, that's not even remotely what happened.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
Talk about Eugene. But yeah, so she then pretty much, I forgot what she said to Daryl, but then Daryl.
She basically chose her family, you know.
And Daryl just leaves. They don't know what happened to Daryl because that's another cliffhanger.
Yeah, he went over the front and they looked down. Oh no, he's gone. He's Batman apparently. Yeah, and she radios like Daryl killed Pope.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? You got your family, I got mine.
Yep. So he leaves and she proceeds on to do the the thing that you do when you're wearing all black in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. You shoot a Hawacha.
That's the thing.
Because that's a thing. So she turns, she tells everybody to retreat. They like, all right, cool. Negan and Maggie were down there. They're like, why is it?
And Elijah got wounded by
Yeah.
some of the shrapnel from the mines. So we don't know what happened to him necessarily yet.
He's just around somewhere. And they're there like, why are they retreating? What? Why is everybody running away? And instead of like,
Yeah, I think Negan almost bought it. He's just like, oh, look at them retreating. And Maggie's like, no, wait a minute. Why? Why are they running? And
Only
of course,
to-
Leah get her people out of there and then light them up.
and then you look up to the final scene. She's standing there, wind blowing, now trench coat flowing in the wind.
Steely-eyed.
And then the Hawacha looses its first, whatever, firecracker arrow.
Yeah, what was that? It was just like the rockets from the 4th of July.
And you go into the camera and I'm like, all right, thanks. That's fine.
Yeah, big cliffhanger ending. Of course, Rise. I think it's definitely a rise of a villain, because if they have now seen. Granted, they don't necessarily know how to do it, but this is The Walking Dead. They saw it, so they must understand it. They're not going to show how they learned, but they're going to figure it out how to become whisperers or use that tactic because now they know it's a thing.
Yeah.
And they're going to be mercenaries that
That'd be a
are
problem.
whisperers. Yeah.
The
Who can
listeners.
hide amongst the dead. And that could be a very, very, very big problem, even though their ranks are very thin.
15 of them who are trained mercenaries with the whisperer tactics and guerrilla fighting. Doesn't matter how many people you have. You don't know who's what, and even still, like, they can just cut a neck, then disappear, and then you have to deal with zombies. And now you're bleeding like fresh blood, so they're like, "Blah, blah, 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 blah." So yeah, they need to kill them.
Yeah, they're definitely going to come back and be a thorn in their side. Leah has got it out for Daryl, and she wants to see. Even though she let him go, like, I don't know if it's just going to be like a second thought. It's like, man, I really should have killed him. Kind of like a whole Negan thing. It's like, man, I should have killed a lot of you.
Maggie, why would you say that?
To me,
To me?
of all people. Because we got a relationship built on trust. Sorry, I don't know why I went all Bill Clinton, but it just seems like I mean, if you think about it, he's very Bill Clinton-ish, like where he's very charming. He might be saying the wrong thing and it's very offensive, but he's just like, you love me, don't you?
Party.
I did not have relations with that Walker.
Oh,
So,
presidents.
yeah. We wish him well, though. I forgot that he was rushed to the hospital this week
Oh.
for an infection. He's doing well.
Okay.
Very bad timing on my end.
Good luck, Bill.
Fellow Arkansan. Oh,
Yeah.
Arkansasian? Man, that was...
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yeah. It came out weird.
Okay.
That's what she said. So yeah, the rise of a villain here. Leah is definitely going to be a problem. She is probably going to be obsessed with Daryl and his demise as, like, you know, the woman's scorned. Kind of like how Pope was obsessed with Maggie. They still never explained why. Like on The Talking Dead, one of the questions was, why was he so obsessed? And the only answer was kind of like, well, he's kind of bored this far in with all this military stuff, and he's done it all, and he's, you know, and now he wants like a real challenge, and in his mind, Maggie is his Joker to Batman, you know, type of thing. Which, like, as an actor, I could see like trying to make that make sense, you know, that make sense, but story-wise, there is nothing.
It has to be an event that catalyzed it.
Yeah. Where's the event that, you know, that made that? Why is that so important?
They could have just said, like, you know, Maggie was out one day and they ambushed her and she, like, actually took them all out.
Yeah, I mean, killed his favorite dog or something. I don't know.
Something like she could have handed him his first loss in the apocalypse, and then that would have been like,
I mean, he did enough monologuing that he could have said something to that effect, or Leah could have just said that. It's like, because she knows him so well. It just seems a whole lot of missed opportunities with explanation of plot. I mean, granted, exposition isn't the best way, but something, give us something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Explain, make these characters make sense, instead of just putting them in events and having them react.
Yeah.
You never want to be there as a writer. All you're doing is just reacting to events. You're painting yourself into a corner, and all you're doing is reacting. You want your characters, especially your protagonists, to be proactive.
yes.
Anyways.
So, well, on to the only other storyline that was in this.
The Storm.
Yeah, the Storm at Alexandria. And watching this with Shay, she was like, the first thing, she's like, why are they upstairs? Did they pick the only house that doesn't have a basement? Or why don't they go upstairs? And for a minute, I was like, well, okay, so the second they went, all right, there's a storm happening. They're all in a house. Who's all? It's like most of the kids, really Judith and Gracie, and some other random children.
Yeah, as if that's the only people left in Alexandria.
Yeah.
It's like the only people we care about.
There's
Diane
the only
and
ones
a couple
focusing in this
randoms.
house. And Rosita, who was there, so Rosita's baby is obviously there, and yeah. Coco? That's the baby's name?
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that? I forgot what it's short for. What they call the baby Coco.
So Rosita, so they're boarding up the windows and everything, and Gracie, I don't know what Gracie's deal is. I don't know if Aaron is just like sheltering her in the apocalypse or what.
I know she grew up with Judith, but this is like seemingly her first encounter with Judith. You're so brave. How do you do what you do?
And I don't know if it's just the way that they wrote it, but also then making some real dumb choices. And I get
Horror
it.
movie tropes.
You're a kid, and I was like, this is, how, like, House of the Living Dead stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice little nod to
Yeah.
the
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead there.
Yeah.
Which they did 2 episodes ago with Connie too. So
Yeah. But I guess it's just their
I mean, I guess
favorite
yeah.
thing.
I mean,
So-
there's only so many classic zombie movies that you can refer to, I guess.
before they start mutating real hard.
Yeah.
So, but she was like standing next to a window, yank, and I'm like, huh. So this is how she's gonna die.
Yeah,
This
I mean,
is
well,
sad.
she did grow up in Alexandria, so maybe she's like these world
So did
beyond
Judith.
people. She's been out in the world, though.
And has she though?
She
Or is
has.
it-
Remember, like
Well,
when we
yeah.
first met her, she was
say-
firing
yeah.
Rick's pistol from 40
she
yards.
just goes
killing
out by
somebody.
herself. Also, and then Negan was riding a motorcycle. She was like, "Bah!" And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, yeah. Forget Judith.
And she's grown man.
She
Judith.
is a grown man.
Grown
yes.
man Judith.
She's a
Like,
grown man.
Use your own words against you.
It's a whole T-shirt, y'all. Go get it. But this episode, and they did it in another episode too. I think it was the episode with all the kids together. They kind of turned her back a few notches to give her more emotion.
Yeah, make her more of a child.
Yeah, and I understand that, but at the same time, there was one scene I think where it looked like she was kind of like panicking a little bit, and I don't know if it was because of the fact that she knew that she was kind of having to stand on her own without Michonne there, and this is me thinking of like what she would be thinking, like Michonne and everybody else that she's known, pretty much grown up. Even well, Rick not really being there, but mostly Michonne, her mom, not being there, and like the trauma from that starting to catch up to her, and now she's in these situations to where she knew she could handle it, but if she knew she couldn't handle it, she always had her mom there who would handle it.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense too, because they have been having a lot of scenes here lately where the children are dealing with who they are because of their parents or the lack of their parents. Like Herschel being like just this cold, calloused kid that's seen it all, done it all, ate spiders, and
Yeah.
because he's been with Maggie out on the road, and and Judith really kind of taking a back seat, and having that little talk with Rosita, and her handprint with Carl being broken is really just taking some emotional hits here lately.
Yeah.
And then having that moment with Virgil where he, I can see, I think that was kind of bringing her back, that moment where she was just really, really homesick for her mom. Especially seeing that, having that moment where Rosita was basically Michonne 2.0,
Yeah. With a bone
and
saw.
yeah, and they made a point to show her watching Michonne from the window, or not Michonne, but Rosita from the window. So I think that in my mind, I think that they were kind of alluding to that, especially since they did that silhouette of her standing in the door where she did resemble Michonne very, very much so. In fact, there was a big fan theory that was Michonne, except that, if you lightened it, you could tell it was Rosita, obviously.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. So now she's kind of having that role filled in a little bit by Rosita. And then grown man Judith came back. She started grabbing the sword. She started cutting off hands. Gracie went down into the basement. And then I was like, this was the moment where I was like, where are they at? That this, like, they're having, like, so why is there so much rain? What is this storm that's going on? And then Shay asked me.
Yeah, that's not happening in Meridian,
Yeah.
however far away. I mean, they traveled several days, so.
Shay asked me where they were, and if I remember right, Alexandrians in, like, Virginia?
Ish, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
And so Shay's like, it's a hurricane. And I'm like,
yeah, like a nor'easter
Okay.
or something, maybe.
I was like,
No,
okay.
a nor'easter's a winter storm.
Because it was a lot of rain, a lot of water. The basement was flooding. And for them, and then I was thinking that Maggie and them were in Philly, or close to Philly.
I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah. Because wherever they were,
Because I know Eugene and them went through Philly. That's where they picked up Princess.
yes. So then where did Maggie and them go? Did they go west?
I don't know that they.
Because if they went
yeah.
further south,
I don't know if they. announced it, because that subway they were in obviously is a major city, and what's around. I mean, they went back to DC maybe. I don't know.
Well, if they were anywhere near Alexandria, they would have ran to the same storm.
You would
Oh,
think
what?
so,
You would think
especially
so.
as big as it seemed.
Yeah. So, for the sake of it, until they say otherwise, they went northwest.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That maybe the storm hit them before that gets to Maggie. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
see them coming into it on the way back or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But, so they're fighting the storm. They having to deal with zombies. Gracie had a moment where she's like, all right, cool. It's time for me to be a grown man. And she's like, I want to fight like you and Rosita. I need a weapon. So Judas is like, well, here.
Here's a stick.
Use
Pat on the head.
this. Hit him with the pointy end. And I'm like, all right, yeah, there we go. Grown man Judas is back. And then it gets foggy. This is I think I had to go do something. So I think I missed like 5 minutes.
Well, so they go back upstairs, and during that time, so originally Judith was helping Virgil go up the stairs, and Diane was like, "I'll help." So she goes and grabs Virgil, and then Judith realizes that Gracie is not around, so she goes downstairs and finds her. And at that point, Rosita has gone upstairs, and Lydia is holding the door. But by the time the girls get back upstairs from the basement, the walkers are already in the house. So we don't know where Lydia went, if she got upstairs or if she's wherever. But of course, they have to go back down the basement, and it's flooding, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
Have to get that anxiety factor in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, them being short, it doesn't have to flood that much. For them.
Oh, sure don't.
Climb up on some tables or something.
Or it could be like that one part in.
And do they even know how to swim? I mean, do they?
No crap. Do they know how to
Push 'em out in
swim?
the lake.
Oh my.
I know they've got a body of water out there in the middle of Alexandria. So
Yeah, maybe.
because Daryl and Judith were sitting on the dock one day talking.
Yeah.
They had a moment there.
And then, oh dang, huh? I'm trying to think.
So yeah, everybody's split. There's a layer of zombies in between. They've got a people sandwich,
Yep.
and
Yep. Did they end? Did we know that they're safe, or did that?
that was it.
No.
That was it.
No, that's why I don't remember because I saw that and then that was no.
Yep. So cliffhanger on that end too. So yeah, we don't know. Let's see. I think there was somebody else that we don't know where they went.
Walking Dead showrunners, creators, writers, y'all all do a wonderful job. But real talk though, y'all cliffhangers are I don't even know how to say don't give me any more please for the second part of this season.
Anxiety.
Don't give me any more cliffhangers. Just give me an end so we can have a beginning going into that last part. And then if you do a cliffhanger at the series finale, I swear.
So I don't mind a proper cliffhanger, yeah, although it seems overdone. But to have a cliffhanger and then immediately tease the part 2 and show that these characters
Are fine.
are fine. Like we see Lydia, we see Negan and Maggie and Daryl, and they're all cool. Like everybody's fine. So why even the cliffhanger?
Yeah, just have an end.
Yeah, like and we're gonna show the season or part 2 teaser here in a minute. But a couple things I want to mention. Perfect opportunity to mention Rick to somebody. You got Virgil there. Why is he there? To push the story forward, right? Mm-hmm. Why did you not mention Rick? Oh, I don't know where she went.
I
You
don't
know
know.
exactly where she went. She went looking for the dude and the guy, and like these are his boots. Remember?
These are his boots.
No, you don't remember that, Virgil? Like I have to go find him. Who's him? She went to go find some guy. Who? Who? I don't know. Somebody. She found his boots. That's all they gotta say. All they gotta say.
I gotta say.
Like, come on. Like, that would be such a boost. I mean, maybe they're just biding their time waiting for the right moment, but good God. If not now, then when?
Never.
Freaking dude's gonna die with that in his throat, you know what I mean? I just don't understand. Also, I think we're seeing the rise of Rosita, too. Because we need, obviously, if the fans, myself, are so hanging on any mention of Michonne or Rick, then there's a lack of development for the characters that are still there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're kind of bored with them. It's like, just tell us about Rick. Just tell us about Rick. Not a single mention of the Rick movie or what's going on with that. They're like, it's happening, I suppose. No mention of Michonne or where she's at or what's going on. But I mean, you could push the story forward with that, and at least garner interest with the fans to kind of keep that going. Use that momentum that you have instead of just don't spoil it. You know what I mean? Don't let it spoil. You've got some currency. Use it. With Rick and Michonne before people don't care anymore. Or you've got, like, this could potentially be a good thing where you are seeing characters like Rosita step up and become more of a mother to Judith and the mother figure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's, I think what we're lacking is they're pushing this whole Negan thing where we're not really seeing anybody step up into the leadership role because everybody's just kind of like there. Daryl doesn't really want to be a leader. He's a reluctant leader, doing his thing. Like, Daryl's fun, but he's in a weird place right now.
Yeah.
Who else? Maggie's in a weird place right now. Negan is in a weird place right now. And it's like nobody is. I understand that you want drama, but you can't have everybody not themselves at the same time. Somebody
has to be that polarizing factor.
Exactly. You've got to have somebody for the fans to get behind and say, do what they're saying, like, to get that emotional click, you know what I mean? To where the fans can identify with somebody instead of just like, I feel weird because everybody's in a weird spot.
Everybody's in a weird spot.
Yeah, Gabriel's in a weird spot. Like, Aaron's in a weird spot. Carol's in a weird spot. Maybe Carol's the only one that's kind of herself right now. Maybe she's feeling weird about.
Carol's on her apology tour still. So once she finishes her apology tour, she'll go right back to focusing on one thing that she wants to kill.
Yeah.
But right now she's just like, I'm super sorry about all that.
Yeah, and we're not really getting enough of Carol. She's totally on apology tour. Yeah, so she's not really herself right now either. She's dealing with her regrets and how her mistakes affected Connie and everybody else. Got people killed. Speaking of, Connie was adamant that she go with Carol. And then when Kelly was like, I'm going with you. Maybe you don't want to really be there for. Why was she hesitative to let Kelly come along? And then Magda was like, I'm coming too. Could Carol be in trouble? I mean, obviously we know Carol's getting a spinoff, so she got plot armor, but could Carol be in trouble?
She could be.
I mean, quit doing all these freaking spinoffs, because we know it's the last season. I mean, could it be? I mean, if you killed off Carol, that was like, what? You just blew our minds. You know what I mean? It's like we'd be pissed, but we'd have an emotional reaction and be like, that was brave. That was brave. You killed off a main character, somebody that's been from the beginning. Although we might not agree with it, that's like stir us up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's just this lull right now, and I know that The Walking Dead classically in the very beginning, in the first half of the season, there's always this slow climb, but we're doing 3 parts right now. So why can't you catch and release, catch and release, catch and release? I don't understand. You have got to have this to keep.
Right now, it's doing
wins and
plateau.
losses, wins and losses. Like, come on.
Like, it started off strong, then it plateaued, and then this next season, next part of the season, season 11B, will probably start off pick up a bit, and then it'll plateau for a few episodes, and then it'll pick up cliffhanger, plateau hard, and then the season 11C skyrocket, and then finish.
It'll be everything at once.
Yep.
Because they've painted themselves into a corner trying to build that suspense, but ineffectively building that suspense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where it's like, oh, boom, here's everything at once. It's like, you've got to trickle it. You got to trickle it out effectively.
Still calling it. I'm chilling on a spaceship with a lightsaber.
I mean, they revisited it.
So, I mean,
They said it's going to get weird.
it's gonna get weird.
So, as far as like the main story, that's really all I got. It's just the death of Pope was predictable. The rise of Leah was predictable. The non-motion of the rest of the cast was predictable. I mean,
Started out strong this season. Like I said, it plateaued and then said, all right, we're just gonna stop. So, but let's see where season 11B takes us. We'll
Yeah.
be here for it.
speaking of,
Oh, let's watch the thing.
let's watch the teaser for season or part 2, I think.
Yes.
Here we go.
Just think about choices. Do they even matter anymore?
Everybody's totally fine. I think Daryl just hit the nail on the head. Choices, do they even matter anymore?
It is my honor to introduce the governor of the
Yeah,
Commonwealth.
so we finally, I'm talking
So
over
many
it
didn't make
because
it.
of AMC.
Also, we
Yeah.
could survive.
We finally seen the Commonwealth get to because they guilted
Eugene.
Eugene into it. And still more Leah, apparently.
I want to punch Eugene in the face.
I mean, he made an honest mistake, but then he just totally backed off of like the good reason why he did it.
Because I think everybody
Because-
that he was fearing at that time came at him all at once with la, 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 la. And so he was like, oh, tail tucked.
I mean, I get they took Eugene back to square one, but I don't agree with that. I agree with seeing elements in heightened tension times, but not all of that, because Eugene has come so far, and this entire time we've seen him be a coward, almost a coward, just a frightened puppy almost the entire time, and he's really, and then the one moment he steps up and punches a dude in the face, I don't know, it just seems contrived to me.
It was the wrong dude to punch.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because they needed to put him into a place where they could manipulate him and get to the thing. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It seemed a bit contrived to me. I don't know. I just expect a higher caliber of storytelling with the #1 show or whatever.
Is it still?
I don't know. It's hard to tell right now because of streaming and all these different platforms and all this different
Sounds
stuff.
like they need to make a new system for measuring what's the actual number one show. Because the Nielsen, that's not working anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they've adapted some of it, but I don't know how they measure it anymore, to be honest.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Because, if you leave it up... Who is it? Scorsese? Was it Scorsese? Who said, like, streaming things shouldn't be eligible for awards?
I don't know, because he made The Irishman for Netflix.
Yeah,
So-
that crazy. I can say ass. That crazy-ass long movie for
Yeah.
no reason.
Yeah.
Crazy ass.
But the man knows how to tell a story.
Yeah. Took him 3 hours. But yeah.
He wanted to do his Godfather.
He wanted
He's
to do
been
his thing.
trying so hard. It's like, you just leave it at Goodfellas, my man.
Because, Squid Games is the number one show in the world right now.
Yeah,
So.
that's,
Oh, all right. Well, the next season looks like it's peaceful. I don't know what turmoil they could have besides the collision of they're here. Commonwealth has found us.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, the Commonwealth is obviously a fascist society that is run by the Miltons,
Yep.
and very controlling. And between the Miltons and Lance, whatever his face is, there's some heavy manipulation going on.
System
and-
may be just a smidge corrupt.
Yeah.
We might be getting to a little bit of Mad Men with this. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so they're going to get there, and obviously, like the whole give and take, you need us type thing, building this same way they did with Eugene and company, with the whole give and take, to where they felt like they needed the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
We're going to dote on you so heavily that when we threaten to take it away, you're going to give us what we want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is typical government stuff, that's why you don't let the government run everything, obviously. It obviously gets a little political, and I think The Walking Dead has been political before, to a certain extent. You always, when you're dealing with rule and government and democracy and all these different things, the dictatorship, there's always elements of politics and stuff. One of the teasers that we're not going to show, because it's literally from the next episode, I think, that was shown on The Talking Dead last week, is where Gabriel comes in and he's chasing I don't know if he's chasing somebody or if he's just running through the tower. Of course, everybody's freaking out because Gabriel in a tower again, and they could potentially be doing his comic book death. And they've had numerous opportunities in past to that.
So many opportunities.
Yeah.
If he goes out to another man of the word.
Yeah, literally last season, I think, started, or part B anyway, started with an episode called The Tower with Gabriel featured. And they didn't do it then.
It might be because, it's a little too late now. It might be because they're not going to let them have their certain characters have their comic deaths. Because they let the one guy say, "Don't take this away from me." Mm-hmm. And everybody was pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were going to kill Abraham, and that's
leave it
when
at that.
Stephen Yeun said, "I want this."
Yeah.
And instead of leaving it, they took Abraham too.
And twofer.
And,
it's like, we're gonna
and
hit
that was
you.
just too much. It was just too much.
We're gonna hit you hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Carl followed, and Rick followed. It was just. And you've got strong characters. You've got strong characters that we care about, but you've taken them down a notch. Like Gabriel, great character when he was on par. It's like we love to see Gabriel. We love to see these characters, but right now they're just in such a weird place where they're just unlikable or they're going through this weird thing. And I don't know if that's just to make Negan look better or make the Commonwealth look better in contrast to where they look more like the good guys, or are you trying to flip it? I don't know exactly, but
I think
it's hard to do that when you do that with everybody instead of just a couple key characters.
I think what they're gonna do, and I hope they do, is this part of the season was to put everybody in turmoil, emotionally, physically, whatever, so that when the time came for them to face not even necessarily, well, yeah, a new threat, or face something that like has convictions beyond convictions, like they like fighting the Reapers. Their convictions are convictions beyond convictions, but they but they had turmoil within themselves as well, and now they're about to restructure in a sense. And then when they come against Commonwealth and they have their convictions, which is the old world, and I think like those two things are going to collide with everybody else. It made a Y with everybody else, and then from that, everyone will figure out what they actually need to do and then do it.
Yeah, and you run into a problem too, storytelling, with making your characters unrelatable by when they're constantly adapting. It almost seems like they don't stand for anything in particular. They just kind of slimy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Which, for a final season, is weird, in my opinion. And like certain other things,
Yeah, they should be the most themselves they've ever been at this point.
They should be like character development, like built maybe like one or two things that they can settle or finish out through the past, like Daryl finishing his stuff with Leah, and he has to figure out how can I either like, does he want to get her back, or is like, all right, if anyone's going to take you out, it's got to be me type of thing. It's really should only be one or two options with that. Maggie, Maggie at this point, just marry Negan. Please don't.
Yeah, because the show has always been that question is like, how do you stay human in this world?
Yeah.
And it seems like that's not really something they're trying to do anymore.
No.
They just trying to survive, and they don't care about, and that just makes them not interesting, because where's the
It's not even
where's the drama?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not even like
Outside of, I mean, if we want to watch a survival show, we just go watch Survivor. And the Survivor's got more drama, to be honest.
Naked and
Because
Afraid
you got
for me.
people, you got people who stand for something, who are pushing for their own agendas, where these guys, they're just
naked in the woods. But yeah, where these guys are just kind of doing things.
Yeah, exactly. Like. And that's yeah. That's the problem, and a lot of like, and that's my problem with a lot of the modern like action movies too, films, where it's just, you're just throwing characters into a situation and watching them react, and that's, you know what I mean, that's not really, you know, you want to see them have, you want to lead them into it and see character development, not character reactions.
Yes. So, but then like the same thing you said before, they should be the most themselves at this point, because if you want really anything else you watch, I can't even think of anything. Like Star Wars is a horrible example, even though we use it like 3,000 times.
What about Badlands? You liked that one? That was
Into
on
the
AMC.
Badlands, yeah. Into the Badlands, the final season, Sonny was his most self. Like, he knew he had to protect his child. He knew he found out about his past. He got his memories back. He met his... Spoilers for the show, by the way. He met his sister. The only thing he knew he had to do was stop this stopped his childhood friend who now had superpowers. And what did he do? I can't tell you that. But yeah.
So in The Walking Dead, the person that most represents is Rick.
Yeah.
But he is absent, and so that whole element, like, there's a big vacuum. And instead of bringing other characters into that role to fill it, because maybe they're worried about people losing interest in Rick, which is, I don't know why, but I mean, you could still have a character fill that role, and or somebody step into that position, like it looks like maybe they're bringing Rosita into, and still have them tied to Rick, because the show is very, very still tied to Rick and Michonne. The intro still shows Rick and Michonne,
Yeah.
even though it was, I mean, 2
Years
seasons.
ago,
Yeah, 2
yeah.
seasons that Michonne left, 3 for Rick. I mean, we're 3 years without Rick. We're supposed to have a Rick movie, and there's no hide, no hair of him.
Yeah.
We saw his boots.
Saw his boots. Oh, who knows? There could be a surprise Andrew Lincoln just showing back up.
Andrew Lincoln signed on to another movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
bye. That's how that's ending. All right. Well,
He got tired of waiting too.
I would have. So,
Yeah.
all right.
So, speaking of them being the most selves, it looks like we might be getting a reckoning with Gabriel in this teaser scene that we saw. We saw him running at the steps or whatever, and he comes into the room with the other man of God, the Reaper preacher, Preacher. Anyway, dude pulls a knife. I thought it was a gun at first, and then Gabriel pulls a machete, and I was like, Gabriel literally just brought a knife to a gunfight. But the other dude did have a knife in this teaser, and so they're basically just kind of like talking to each other, and Gabriel was getting pissed because he was like, "You hear God," and the guy knew that Gabriel was there. Mm-hmm. And apparently, he said that God told him that he would be okay and that he was there or something like that. And because Gabriel is in a weird spot right now and he's not hearing the voice of God, and yet he still wears that collar every day, and he is not stepping aside, and that's a dangerous place for a quote-unquote man of God to be in. Is how are you leading people when you are not, you can't pour from an empty cup, basically.
Yeah.
So his cup is bare. It's been dried out for a while, and he's very jealous and very upset with this other Reaper preacher, that he seems to have this immediacy in this relationship with God, and he's very upset that he's using it to pray for and protect and stand with the Reapers, and that's basically where the scene ends. So we are having some type of character moment with Gabriel that has been building toward way too long.
Yeah. It's probably gonna die. But yeah. So we'll see where that brings us in February, where it will be cold.
Yeah. And as far as I know, there's not a title for episode 9 just yet. But if there is, or if you have anything else you want to add, hit us in the comments below. Appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, thank you for joining us. And and if there's anything else that you'd like to talk about or converse about or whatever, maybe we'll do another show, whatever. But we're just following The Walking Dead Prime right now, unless there's some big news or something big drops in these other 2 shows that are going on right now. We'll see. But yes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me find it. Hit the little bell icon.
Dang.
so that you know when we drop a new video and when we go live. And catch us for the other show that we do, the FOMO Show MCU edition, where we talk about all things MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, on Thursday nights at 9:30 because we have jobs and families.
What about we did DC this week? There was a lot. There was so much.
DC fandom.
Yeah.
That's
was
a
a lot.
possibility. To be continued. So, yeah, thank you. And don't forget to check out the website, www.broken.picturesno.com. Or as Quin would do. It's the Hawacha. All right, I'm Dylan.
I'm Quinn.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.